Little bit of squeal from these all seasons. There goes the audio recorder out of my pocket. That's how you know it's good. Welcome back, I'm Tedward. It's a salty winter day out here, but Boston Motorsports in Brighton, Massachusetts has offered me this 2020 BMW M340i xDrive to play around with today. And thankfully this color is hiding most of the salt I've covered it in. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is a B58 3-liter inline 6. It's all-wheel drive. This thing gets up and goes. It's pretty fun. So I haven't driven a G20. This is my first G20. So for me, this is actually pretty important to experience what like the current BMWs are like. But let me show you under the hood and around the car. But first, let's just start it up. Sounds nice. All right, under the hood. There's not a whole lot to see. Pretty typical of a modern car. It's just all covered in plastic. Under there, you're just gonna find fuel rails and ugliness. It's not gonna be pretty, so get over it. That's where we're at. But anyway, we all know we like the B58 just because A, it sounds pretty good. It definitely sounds better than the S55. And love it or hate it, it's in the Super and the Z4. It's a good engine. It's pretty capable. It's closed deck. It's got kind of a mean little rumble back here too. Although, you know I'm not a fan of these little fake fascias. That pipe does come through. It's not the worst thing in the world. Back here in the trunk, loads of room. It's a 3 Series. It's a sedan. It's a family hauler. It's gonna do what you wanna do. Whether you got a bunch of kids or you're just going to work. You like having that rear seat. I like having rear seats. I like having a rear door. You know, my E92, it's kind of a pain because I can't just open a rear door and toss things in. I've always got to be moving the seat forward and back. Back here, it's a 3 Series, man. You're not getting crazy luxury. The leather is fine. It's not the most supple thing in the world. All right, enough about that. Let's take her for a rip. All right, we got wireless charging, cover up our phone, and the new, who am I kidding? This has been around for a little while, but the newer BMW display. We're listening to Dr. Radio, as you would, because you're a BMW driver. We should probably take off that parking brake. Off we go. First thing I noticed about this car is the seating position. It's really low. I can get very low in this car. I like that. I get annoyed when I'm sitting on top of a vehicle. Even my E92, I cannot get low enough in that car. Drives me bananas. But in this thing, I'm able to get nice and low. Ooh, that's good stuff. And the next thing I noticed, this wheel, it's a little too thick for my liking. That's fine. It's not outrageous. I would get used to it. But BMW tends to give you a really thick steering wheel. So we've got 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. We gotta floor her through the tunnel. That is legit. All right, I'm about it. All right, I gotta back off a little bit. This is actually faster than I thought it was gonna be. This is good. This is lovely. Ooh. See, this thing, I come from the world of high revving, naturally aspirated V8s. So when you put me in something with a turbo that has some torque down low, you start to appreciate it. It's pretty nice. I mean, yeah, I am revving it out, and it does have a very lovely linear power band. That is what I like about the B58. But because you have almost as much torque as you have horsepower, the car just feels monstrously quick. Quicker than it really has any business being. So while the M badge preceding 340i is, you know, mostly marketing, it's not an M product, I'm gonna let this one slide because this feels like an M Sport. It does feel sporty. It feels sporty. Before we get out to the fun roads, because there are some fun roads, I mean, this is probably the environment most of these cars are going to be driving in. Just cruising on the highway in traffic. And yeah, it's quite adept at that too. We'll throw it in comfort mode. Hopefully we'll get an upshift. Oh yeah, oh my God, 1600 RPM at 76 miles per hour. Hopefully a bit of a fuel saver relative to my thirsty V8s. The steering's nice. You know, it's funny. All right, here's the deal. BMW steering, I have a love-hate relationship with this stuff because I think that, like, on the brake, when you're, like, on edge and you're really wrestling this thing around, it's kind of nice. I think I know where it's going. I do think this rack feels a little quicker than it has any business being when I took that first turn in. Maybe I'll get used to it. But again, BMW likes to seem sporty with some somewhat exaggerated things. That's new. That's new BMW. But driving it in traffic like this, it's okay if it's a little bit dull or if it doesn't, like, you know, show me every single bump and crack in the road, because I don't necessarily want to experience that. So it is doing a pretty good job. But what I really want to know is when we put it into some corners, how are we going to fare? Let's see how she handles a corner. Little bit of squeal from these all seasons. There goes the audio recorder out of my pocket. That's how you know it's good. Balanced. Balance is what we like about BMW. Balance is everything. So that's the thing. If a BMW starts to understeer profusely as you get into a corner, then we're not going to treat it very kindly in the reviews. We're going to be like, it kind of drives like an Audi. No offense, Audi drivers, but that's the reality. Is like, you want your BMW to feel a little more loose. And what's great is even with these all-wheel drive platforms, you're able to get a little bit of that dance, and everything's happening right about this polar moment in the center of the car. That's excellent. Nobody's behind us. Let's do a little brake check. Now the pedal feels great, but the bite leaves a little bit to be desired. I would likely put a more aggressive set of pads on this car. That's kind of an issue for me, to put an M badge on a car that doesn't give me a really positive feel. Great transmission, nice snappy shifts, but not abusive. That's what you want. Ergonomically, I have a lot of respect for BMW because they've kept a volume knob. Volume knobs are so good and so rare these days. That's nice to have. And the buttons for things like the heated steering wheel, right here, right on the wheel, right? I need a heated steering wheel. Where would the button for the heated steering wheel be? Gee, on the wheel. How convenient. And for your heated seats, lovely. Everything is just where you expect it to be. And that is something I hope doesn't go away with too many touch screens in the future. I don't see a no U-turn. Let's see what this turning radius is like. Not bad, even for the all-wheel drive. Front axle up front. Sorry for the delay. I wanted you to hear it. Ooh, we got a 911 ahead of us. Let's hope no police behind us. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Is that a GT3 Touring? Hello? No. Wait. No. Aftermarket exhaust. I think that's kind of cool that the speedometer tells me miles per hour and kilometers per hour at the same time, simultaneously. Let's go feel it out on some back roads. All right, so I love this powertrain. I actually really like this transmission. I really like this V58. I'm really digging this whole power plant. It's cool, it's fun, it's snappy, it's responsive. It's more than you'd expect from a non-M car. Because yes, it says M340i. It's not an M car. This is not an M3. But some things against it. Number one of these brakes, and it's not the brakes' fault. I think it's the pads. I think it's the wrong pad choice. They're not aggressive enough. This is a pretty quick car. You've got to be able to bring this thing down in a hurry, and I just don't think it was a very responsible move on BMW's part to put kind of a weak street pad on this thing. It doesn't feel very aggressive. And number two, the steering. It's good, not great. And that's fine. I'm not going to hold it too much against the car because I really don't think it's bad. I just think I could ask for a little bit more from the feedback on this rack. I think the interior quality is nice. It's not high end. It's enough. It's what you paid for. There's a little rattle up here, and I think it's just this guy. Probably very easy to fix. But I mean, my E92 in cold weather, I'll get a couple little dash rattles like that. But a huge point for this car, and really, I think, other than the powertrain, is this suspension. It's the way this handles a corner. It's the way it's balanced. It's the way that this chassis was engineered. It really shines. It really shines, and it can hold its own with this power. What would be fun is to put on some rubber that have a little bit higher limits. I'm not going to hold it against it for having relatively low limits of grip, especially in like 40-degree weather on all seasons. But you're going to put an M badge on this car as an M340i. Maybe we want to have a little bit more grip. All right, let's go take it on a little bumpy road, play with the suspension. Oh, I love it. I love the way this sends power to the rear end. I can feel traction control stepping in like a little early. But it definitely has a rear wheel bias. I mean, obviously, but you notice it. It's great. It kind of feels like it tightens up back there when you get on throttle. Oh, someone's not getting their packages today. Don't slow down when you get on the highway. Tedward sings poorly. Some final thoughts. While I think it's too easy to say, look at BMW, they've lost the plot. What are they doing? Don't forget, they still make good cars. They don't, not all of their cars, but they do still make good cars. This M340i is a surprise to me. I genuinely enjoy driving this. And even though you may not agree with some of their stylistic choices, maybe the bucktooth grills on the new M3, M4 are easy to poke fun at, I'm in that camp with you. I'm right there with you. It may grow on me though, and I have to see the performance of those vehicles first. But let's be honest, this car will smoke my E92 M3 0 to 60. I mean, light to light, this car is just going to destroy it. But what I'm trying to say is this M340i really tells me that BMW is still BMW. The fact that it takes a corner the way it corners, the fact that you can balance it, the fact that it's sending more power to the rear than the front. We've got an inline-6 engine. Yeah, you may not agree with the style with their newer cars. You may not agree with moving from dials to LCD displays. But deep down, even though occasionally you have to dig a little deeper than you'd prefer, these cars still do resemble the past. So thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks to Boston Motorsports in Brighton, Massachusetts for loaning me this sweet Beamer for the day. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hello. What can
No, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. What could go wrong here? What could go wrong here? Oh, please don't clip a tree and smash up this car. I don't know how to explain that. Is there a better van than the Toyota Previa? Honest question. Is there a better van than the Toyota Previa? That is cool. It's mid-engine. You can get them in all-wheel drive. You know, I don't think we appreciated those when they existed, when they were being made. I think that is a retrospective car. That is something that we look back and say, man, I wish we really appreciated the Previa more. If you have a Toyota Previa, I would love to drive it.